Hey there, I'm going to show some things in this video and further proof of various things proving that the videos in the Karen Read trial presented by the Commonwealth was in fact manufactured, altered, okay, and they know this, the defense knows this. Some people ask why they didn't object to certain things. Well, they do their objections during pretrial discovery motions. That's when they make objections about evidence. Okay, as far as commenting on this video, I do have profanity filters on. I do legal stuff. It's only a small part of my channel, so I try to keep my channel basically family friendly, so please keep the comments clean. And this is a safe space, so people who are trolling your comments won't get approved. So other people should have the right to comment without being harassed. And spammers, scammers, and trolls, just not allowed. If you're somebody who's commenting that I can tell by your comment that you obviously did not watch the video because you're saying things that makes no sense. If you'd watched the video and everyone said, they will not get approved. This is a highly controversial case, and so despite the fact that there's many more people believing her innocence, there are some people out there that, you know, we just have to keep things civil. I know there's groups on other platforms that have a lot of hostility. The people aren't moderating, and so they just don't go to those groups anymore. I do moderate. I just want this to be a civil place. People can agree to disagree. I'm cool with that. Just keep it civil. Okay, starting with this particular, this is 5 a.m. Notice this right here. This, you have like a wedge of snowfall there. Notice this. This is a basketball hoop, and this is, it's transparent. You can actually see through it, and you can see the top of this post here. And also notice where this tire lines up. Pretty close, maybe tiny bit past this. And I know different angles may present things slightly different, but you're not going to see a big discrepancy. Okay, so this is pretty well lit up because Karen's getting ready to back out of her driveway here. Now, if you want to know how they're doing the alter, it's not a matter of whether or not the videos that they presented were altered. They were altered. I mean, there's people who have used software analysis to explain not only that they were altered, but how they did it, and will show you in great detail how they did it. And I will put a link in the description to Abby's channel, and she will break it down for you. And so people are like, well, how can they get by with using altered evidence? Exactly. That's because we the people must fight this. And that's why I'm going in great detail. I'm watching other people. So if you're somebody who has a channel that is also, you know, pointing things out, or knows of a channel, I don't have any problem with anybody sharing a link, as long as it's content related. Like people just sharing their channel. I have videos, a lot of videos where people can shout out their stuff, you know, their channel or whatever, if they have like content to that video. I'm totally cool with that. And then sometimes I do live streams where we just like connect with each other. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of video, please keep it content related. This is 8:23 a.m. when they did a wellness check at John O'Keefe's house. Notice there is no snowdrift here. Also notice, pay close attention to where her back of her bumper is in relation to this post over here. It's up closer. It's like maybe a little bit past this post right here. That's a very important detail. And also notice over here, okay, the snow is up against the wall. And I think Karen Read discussed this in an interview. I could be wrong, but talking about how the snow was up against that, because if I remember correctly, John's friend who came to pick up his daughter said that he went over here and he was pulling away the snow from the door there. Just, I don't know. It just, maybe he was in shock, and just the little things that John didn't like or whatever. If I remember correctly, I think they put salt down, because here's why you should not see snow up against these structures. And granted, you know, different angles may show things a little bit differently, but definitely you're going to see things that are different. Now, also note, before I change this picture, this basketball hoop up here, did you already, tell me, comment below, did you already catch that before I just now mentioned it? Did you catch it too? I did mention it in another video, okay? So, See how much higher this is and further away from this. And also look at his tire. How further to the left of this post this tire is. But look at the back of the bumper in relation to this post here. Now check this out. Okay, this is when the cops came here for their wellness check. To me, it was just a ruse. Okay, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying it just seemed like they were creating a reason for them to come here and then claim to have... Anyways, they know that they went and got the kids and there was nobody here. They have contact with the O'Keefes. They would know. But anyways, they came here. There was nobody here. They knocked on the door. Excuse me. They testified. They showed the body cam of them going up to the front door. And of course, there was nobody there. Right? Anyways, but notice this here. This right here. Notice that. This bare spot here. Almost like maybe they put salt down, or but there's no, it's not up against, and you can't see it here because just the way this wide angle is right here, but there's like, you can see a line where there shouldn't be this up against the structure. And this is away from the structure, maybe, I don't know, 1.5 feet. Okay. Now, watch this. Okay, now, I had to use other ones. Her screen there is covering up this here. But, notice this. The back part of her bumper, it seems for a little bit further back. Notice the back of her bumper, if you was just to draw a straight line, probably about, I don't know, about 3/4 of a way, the back of this bumper. But also notice the basketball hoop backboard, how low that is. That's not an angle discrepancy. That is way too much difference to be an angle discrepancy to this. It just looks, and then there's this. This looks so weird. And I'm sure Abby can point out exactly what's happening there in the picture and why that looks funky like that. And this basketball hoop up here. And I've already gone into the fence. I will go into it a little bit more. My focus is the fence. But even if I'm wrong about the fence, but I don't think I am. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that again, in case you're watching this for the first time. Look at all this snow up against the structure here. Okay, the basketball hoop. And then there's no snowdrift on his tire. It just disappeared. And no, it didn't fall off after she bumped his car. And I'm going to prove that to you. Okay, so this is her. And notice here, over here, it's if you was just to draw a straight line, you don't have that scalloped individual teeth there. Okay, it's not there. It's straight. And it's smooth. And this is well lit. This is in 4K. Okay. I mean, this is probably the best quality. And somebody said something about a documentary having better quality. No. No, it doesn't. Okay. I watched that. And I went back and checked it again. No, this is probably the best quality right here to see this fence over here. Right? And there's no individual teeth. There's no scalloped edge. This is just one smooth edge. Like over here. The basketball court is down. Okay. And then you have this. Now watch after she hits his car with her back of her vehicle. Watch. Okay, this is her driving away. And that snowdrift is still there. Okay. It's there here. Even bumping that tire slightly, causing it to move forward, and then it went backwards. It's still, and for the record, you wouldn't see any of this light down here. Now this is altered, and this is a video where Abby will explain exactly how it's altered. I'm not even going to go into a lot, but I'm just showing you other details to notice. So again, this is before it was hit, and this tire lined up close, pretty close to this, and this is lower. You got the snowdrift here. Now, the interesting thing in Lowley in the first trial, before the officer coming here drives over here, before he turns in, he pauses the video and says, "Do you recognize the house?" And he says, "Yes." He tells him the address of the house. And then they go to a separate file. So what they don't do is they don't show them turning in here and then pulling up, because it's harder to manufacture images when it's in movement, and that's why he used still shots and then zoomed in on that still shot. Okay, that's a big red flag. Now watch this. But they forgot about the side view of this fence. When anybody can drive down this road here, okay, this is Meadows Ave, this is Pleasant Street, and what you will see is you're going to look over here on where this second pole is holding that net. You're going to see teeth. You're going to see teeth, like the fence teeth. And it doesn't matter that this is low quality, like the visibility, I mean. This is in 1080p premium, I think. Okay. It's in 1080. Actually, I think I showed this. It doesn't matter, because watch. So this is in 1080 premium. Okay. Hold on a second. And when you drive by, this is visible because it's taller than this here. And so you will see it. And it doesn't matter if your visibility is poor, you're still going to see it. I will reduce this to 480 and you're still going to see it. I'll reduce it to, I don't know, 360. You're still going to see it. You know what I'm saying? You're still going to see it. Here it is in 240 and you still see it. See, here's 240 and you're still going to see it because it's taller than that top of that fence. So this is a guy who drove by to test the time from the Alberts to this address. 7.5 minutes. Casual driving. That's what it took. So, and the reason he did that is because the last step of John O'Keefe and him locking his phone was at 12:32. And she was driving away and was back at John O'Keefe's auto connected to his Wi-Fi at 12:36. And so it takes a good 6 to 8 minutes to get there, especially in snowy weather. So yeah, that's her alibi in my opinion. Okay, but see what I'm saying? And the reason that these teeth matter is because this change to this fence didn't happen until after the new owners took over. And a lot of people have an issue with me saying the word new owner. It's like, okay, well, if John O'Keefe is no longer, you know, being the trustee of the house, then basically the new people that took over the house, okay, new owner, whatever, you know. And I did see somewhere where there was somebody else's name on it that didn't appear to be a family member, but data on the internet could be incorrect. I don't think anybody knows whose name the house is actually in, okay, but that's not relevant, okay. What's relevant is these videos are altered. So some people are saying, oh, well, that's the background of Karen Reed's father's driveway. No. I went to Google Earth and no. And also, not only that, but the car was not even all the way up in the driveway because there was so much snow by the time she had gotten to Dighton. So, I mean, she wasn't even anywhere near up to the top of their long driveway. So, but as you can see, this is clearly scalloped. Okay, it's a different fence. And it doesn't matter why they changed their fence; they can right to do that. Now, some people pointed out the house wasn't brown in the background. Yes, this house was changed from brown. They updated the house into, I think it was 2019, and so you will see they even added an additional structure here. We've got that same thing here. So this is now gray instead of brown. Same house. So here it is when it was brown. It's the same house. You can see this pipe down here, but now it's gray and it's got a structure. The tree's a little taller. And one thing that somebody had said that they moved the driveway back 10 feet. Well, they are correct because you'll see 3 panels here, 1, 2, 3, and then it goes away, it turns that way. Now it's further back 10 feet and it goes around this tree. So like this part up here won't be as wide as this part because it goes, I'll show you what I'm talking about. See how this is wider now? They added another panel that goes this way. But this right here also, this back here is different because it's not like the scallop look. And somebody says, "Oh, well, that's just because the angle it makes, makes it look like the teeth are smushed together or something like that." No, dude. Nope, it was changed. This is completely solid. Any way you go in and look at it, and you're more than welcome to. And this is, the new managers of the house, okay, whoever that may be, right? And I actually have an image where this fence is gone. Like, there's like the hole there where, you know, it's gone. And I think that might have just been like an older picture where they were, you know, getting ready to put the new fence in or whatever. But the FBI is the one who will determine. The reason the fence is important to me is because of when it was changed is relevant. It shows more than just like, you know, the FBI might look at this like, well, you know, I don't think this really meets the threshold, because they cherry pick which cases they're going to take, right? Budgets, they got big slashing right now of our federal agencies, including the FBI, so they be cherry picking. And so they may be like, well, if they're just enhancing videos, you know. But no, we need to collectively show them that this is complete, like, manufacturing, altering evidence. And if something's done, like, we're something to the serious extent of where there's, like, they're putting something in a completely different date, like the things that I'm showing you. So this is the next day when this driveway was being plowed. And as you can see, that thing is gone right there. It's just completely gone. I don't know why that drift is gone, but it shouldn't be. And it doesn't matter the quality. So this is 1080, okay, and I'll show you the same video in 4K. But that doesn't mean the original video, like somebody's maybe uploading in 4K or whatever, editing in 4K or whatever, or rendering or whatever, putting a video together, doesn't mean they're editing this video. But I'm just saying that nobody, I don't care what anybody says, nobody has the original videos. That's the problem. The original videos, the best evidence rule requires them to have the original videos, and they won't release the metadata. So they don't have the original videos. The defense couldn't even get that, right? The FBI sure can. That's why we need to stay on it. So this is in 4K. This one is in 4K. Okay, that's 4K, what I'm showing you. Okay, 4K. And it's got this snowdrift. The basketball hoop is lower. And if you were just to take a pencil, you're not going to have that scalloped back edge there. It's just smooth, like this is. It's just smooth. And it's not the lighting. 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 There is no scalloped teeth there. It doesn't exist. And now you have the scalloped teeth that is up here, that, as I showed you earlier, should be visible over at this post when you're going down the side this road. No build up there on his tire. Something really weird going on right here. And then you have the snow up against the garage door here, which I think Karen mentioned that before. They knew this stuff was edited, but they're like, you know what, no matter all the stuff that they're doing to cheat, we'll just prove their theory is ridiculous. There's no possible way that car caused that injury. Thank you, Lord. They proved it. So this is way up higher, much higher than on top of here. Okay, so, and then this tire is way further left of this post over here. And the interesting thing, when Lally says, so does that driveway, is that what the driveway looked like then? Like he's trying to tell the jury, there's nothing different, nothing changed here, please. Another thing, because of this house back here doing updates, so they did an update, new roof, and they painted the house. I think it was in 2019. And then at some point, when they built this structure popped up, that'll be interesting for the FBI to find out. Because that'll just, you know. There's a different view with the car parked a little bit further back. And again, you've got all this up here. And this looks to be closer to this post here. It looks like... Now, people are like, well, they should check the odometer. I don't think they need to do that. I think they can just rearrange a picture. I don't think that they just hauled her truck there and put it in there to take a picture. I don't know. But all I know is there are people who can tell that a video is altered. I can tell you one way that you can tell a video or a picture is modified, and one way is that, for example, I'm a hobby photographer, so I may upload some of my pictures to websites that will either accept your picture for commercial market or reject it. And they use software that auto detects that pictures are altered, because you want to upload in RAW file if you use a DSLR, for example, or you definitely don't want to alter your video in any way or your picture in any way whatsoever, because it will be auto rejected, because software can tell when a picture is altered. And companies that want to buy a picture, they need to do different things to it, and you can't already alter it, right? So I'm just saying, but the FBI doesn't need the original files to determine if something's altered or manufactured. They can do that with their expertise. And somebody that I will share the link in the description, named Abby, she goes into great detail to not only tell you that they're altered, these different clips, but how they did it, showing you in great detail how they did it, and teach you how it's done. And she uses software in doing that. But, you know, here's the thing. When they present things, okay, and they give you over stuff, you have to trust them that they haven't already done things. It's like for the DNA test on the shirt. Right. How do we even know that they didn't test, like, the shirt at all? They just sent it in and said they did. That's why when they wouldn't allow the defense to independently test that, big red flag, guys. Now, some people have asked about the diffuser issue. So the diffuser is a piece of plastic on the inside of the red, and it's really thick. It's hard to break. They proved that at trial. It has these little bubbles, and basically what that does is that distributes the light. So, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to put a link in the description, number 2, to the person who will do the demonstration of how the diffusers work and why you would not have any of this light here as you see in the other video. So it doesn't matter what mask or what little, you know, editing techniques that they use. The bottom line is you're not going to have, now this is the brake lights being tapped right now, but you're not going to have those diffusers distributing all that yellow light when, according to what they showed, there was a break in one of the diffusers. Okay, one of the diffuser pieces was found on top of snow that fell instead of being on the bottom of the ground underneath the snow, but nonetheless, the diffuser piece was shown. So when you separate a diffuser piece, the light will not continue to distribute. That's how diffusers work. So this is before she taps on the brakes. So that continuation of that diffuser should not, it would break. It would, like, you wouldn't see the yellow. And by the way, it wouldn't be white because the bulbs are yellow. The older cars would show white if the red pieces were broken. So that was another tell, but they just gaslight the heck out of people. But now let me show you the diffuser when it's broken. And I will put a link in the description to his channel. This is Be in Trouble 31 channel. So he demonstrated by actually breaking this diffuser piece. So the bulb is like up here, and the pieces with the tiny bubbles all through them, like see right here. So this part here, as you can see, it doesn't continue to show here. So you're not going to see that yellow light all the way down here like I just showed you, because if there's a breaking of that piece, and there was, that's what they showed, that a part of that diffuser piece had broken off, and it was at the scene of the Albert's house. It was like, okay, then you wouldn't see this light all the way down here. And yeah, I believe they argued that at trial. But I think that I think they should have done a visual like he did and actually show them, so they'd be like, oh yeah. But the tail light was a big issue for the jury. They're like, no man, this stuff's not matching up. And it wouldn't shine white. It would shine yellow, guys. Unless you're editing the picture. So this was before the fence was changed. And as you can see, you don't see, this is like one smooth, there's not that scalloped, separate teeth. It's a different fence. This is after it was changed. And it matters. It matters very much. Because they manufactured that picture. Which is why they paused the video before they turned into the driveway, when you only saw the front of the house, they paused it and say, what house number is that? And he gives the address. Then he goes to a separate file that was basically a still shot of the dash cam in the cop car, and none of this adds up. This is weird stuff going on right here. Okay, that's weird looking. Something going on there. The basketball hoop is higher. There's no snow dripped on his tire. Her car looks further up, you know, like closer to this post. Certainly not almost to this post. You've got this snow up against the structures over here. Doesn't add up. Okay, so then he's like, is that what the driveway looked like then? Like, hey jury, we haven't changed anything here, right? What needs to be done is everybody collectively go to the FBI, their Twitter page, their Facebook page, and just say, please investigate. We want justice. We want justice, okay? And we need petitions. Please comment, you know, that you're willing to do that. Or, you know, I just think that we don't have to just say this is the way it is. We don't have to say that. I do believe that there can be change. There absolutely can be change. Keep praying for that. Have a blessed day. Bye.